What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Stoppage Time Stooges. This is episode 37. We're going to be breaking down some of the biggest matches that have been completed in the Euros. We just had a match, the first match completed in Copa America. And of course, we're going to break down the United States men's national team, their squad, their path to potentially the knockout stages of Copa America. That's all we got for you tonight. But before we get started, guys, how are we doing?
I got one thing right off the bat. The
no.
Copa America theme, a million times better than the silly European Union theme that they use for the Euros. The Copa America theme, chills. Chills.
It's all right,
dude. It's so catchy.
I don't want to talk about the Fox soccer coverage of the Euros.
I'm just talking the Copa
because then I'm gonna get upset.
Oh no, that's even worse. No, we're not getting into that.
I don't want to rant about that.
Did you see the clip of our guy Alexi Lawless with Sturridge's face?
Yeah, the problem with that show is that if it's not him talking, I need the subtitles up because I can't understand what anyone's saying except Jules.
That's the most Jacob complaint I've ever heard about.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, I feel like the more that they had Chiellini talking about Italy, he wanted to cry because he couldn't talk about Italy in Italian.
I like Chiellini. What do you mean?
Chiellini's fun. Chiellini's fun.
They're fine. They just
good.
They're not Michael Ballack and Ruud van Nistelrooy in 2014. That's the problem.
Jules Breach is always happy.
No, she's great. I'm not complaining about her. She's a great host. She has to carry them.
No, she has to. No, they have to carry Lalas. Alexio. He's
all right.
Anyway, besides,
I don't want to waste all that time. But Alexio.
Yeah, no, that's no topic.
They had a very good feature of him going to Frankfurt. The Discover House sausages were made.
Oh, I did watch that.
Because that's exactly what they need, more Alexi Lalas airtime.
Because even though he, isn't the greatest U.S. soccer player of all time, he sure thinks he is.
You can't get him off your screen.
Oh, and his insistence to keep calling it soccer, pissing off all the Euro analysts, is amazing, by the way. That's the one good thing Alexi Lawless has done, his insistence on continuing to call it soccer and not football, and pissing off his fellow Euros analysts. That's actually fun. That's it.
That sums up everything right now.
Anyways,
yeah.
Shall we get into this thing?
Let's do it.
Yeah?
Yes, please.
All right. I think it's only right if we start with England, who had, I don't even know how to describe it, shaky start. I mean, you can go with pretty much any adjective.
Shakey's Pizza?
It wasn't that good.
Just like Southgate.
Never thought that'd be a comparison, but here we are. A 1-0 win against Serbia in first match. Not very good. Serbia threatened late and could have scored. And then today, as we record this on Thursday, the 20th, not a good performance against Denmark. I think worse probably than the first game. But we can dive into that. Andrew, I'll start with you. What's your thought process with them after 2 games?
Well, if you keep, Gareth Southgate must play a lot of, they have this in FIFA too. He loves the ultimate team out of position cards. He really loves them. Let's just have 3 midfielders not playing at their correct midfield position. And let's have one guy who doesn't even play the midfield at all, like as much. And let's have him there in a competitive major tournament. Let's do that. Let's see how it works. How about that? And look what that's gotten them. And that's, one of many problems right now with England. I was thinking about Southgate too, and I'll get back on topic in a little bit. But Southgate is basically just, I was trying to pinpoint who he reminded me of. We always joke British Berhalter, and that is exactly who he is. But he's Wallace from Wallace and Gromit. Where's my cheese? He's looking for his cheese. His cheese is just Harry Kane. He's like reliable. He's just always
More
and
like
yeah.
only reliable.
Well, I mean, if the lineup they're putting out there, I mean, you're telling me you can't score more than one goal in your first 2 Euros matches?
I mean, they're playing Denmark and freaking who is it? Slovenia,
Serbia.
Excuse me, Serbia. I don't see Chiellini and Bonucci in the back. I mean, come on. I agree with you. I don't get it. I don't understand.
The magisterial Andreas Christensen.
I don't understand why they always play like a team that has to park the bus every game. I don't get it. Why did you take all these attacking players, Gareth, if you don't want to score goals? I mean,
I think the four of us could do better as a coaching staff.
Oh yeah.
Well, Owen Hargraves, who was the analyst for Fox, Mr. We and us, Mr. Ours.
Break it down, Andrew Marchand.
He brought up a great point about Southgate being one of the most stubborn coaches. He didn't call him stubborn. That's basically what he said.
Implied, yeah.
by basically stating, oh yeah, he's not going back from his game plan now. After halftime, he's like, yeah, they're not generating offense, but you know what? They're not going to do anything about it. So just try to figure something out as a player. Just try to figure something out. Gareth's not going to do anything, but it just seems like I don't see a fire, and that comes from coaching. There's no desire really, and you saw it in the last Euros, which is why you had somewhat high hopes heading into the World Cup, where they ultimately bottomed out in typical England fashion. But they just went back to, they've reverted back to the England of the 2010s, where it's like it's a hodgepodge of players who don't want to be there.
They reverted back to 2016 Euro England. That team that did not want to be there. God,
yeah. So that's what's really disappointed me. And it all stems from the coaching staff. It really does. Garrett and Mr. Wallace Southgate over there.
When you said that you had a comparison for him before we recorded this, that was not what I had in mind.
It's because I saw on Twitter the trailer for the new Wallace and Gromit movie, and I heard Wallace's voice, and I'm like, that's who he reminds me of. Cheese? Can I get an extra cheese?
Oh my goodness. You know what? Just that on top of all that, I don't know why I put $5 on them to win the whole thing. It's just.
Thanks for your donation.
It's this, yeah, no, exactly. Every single, even in the last Euros, you could argue that. I mean, in the final, they went up. Didn't they go up 1-0, and they just kind of did the same.
Scored inside 5 minutes.
Yeah, they just parked the bus the entire time.
They just sat in a low block.
I don't understand how, especially in these two games, you're more talented than the two teams you just faced. Why are you just going to sit on this 1-0 lead? You have the players who can score, the attacking players with talent. You've got Harry Kane, obviously, is their best attacker they have. But still, you just decide to, let's just sit on this and, everything will work out fine. But no, it never does. I mean, unless you're playing, worse. But this just isn't going to carry over to the knockout stages, assuming they get there, which they probably will. But I mean, you got to be on the front foot. That's a loser mentality if you're just going to be sitting there and just try and protect the 1-0 lead. That's it bites you in the butt eventually. They easily could have lost today too. So I mean, it's just stubborn tactics, like Andrew said, and I mean, it's just pathetic. It's really hard to watch them. I mean, just when you have this good of a roster, I mean, arguably your deepest roster ever. You go
not ever, but in recent years,
it's up there. It's up
in terms
there.
of
they had a golden generation in this century that was way better than this team. But go on.
You could argue, yeah, but still, you have what it takes to win the whole thing. You're just not showing it the first two games. It's just pathetic.
And does Gareth Southgate actually watch any Premier League football?
He's at the games. They always show him every 3 minutes.
Yeah, but is he watching?
I don't know. Maybe he's reading the Daily Mirror, whatever the hell.
Is he reading the Telegraph? He's reading the Telegraph. Is he picking? Is he doing the Euros predictions like Jamie Carragher? Like, what is he doing? Does he not watch any Manchester City? Does he not watch does he not know how to use Phil Foden?
Did he watch Cole Palmer at all this year?
Cole Palmer getting zero. Okay, we got it. Jacob, I want you to talk about that.
Can I do this? Okay. And yes, I am a little biased because he plays for my team. But what's better, Gareth? Eze, who has 26 goals in 120-something games? Or Cole Palmer, who has 20-something goals in, like, hold on. I want to get this exactly right.
He wants the exact
Palmer
number.
has, where the hell is he? Oh, there we go. He has, this season, he has 25 goals in 45 games. Eberche, or however the hell you say his name, Eze has, let's see. 26 goals in 124 games. Wow. The game's 1-1. What do you need, Gareth? What do you need? Oh, I got it. It's a goal. Who's going to... Oh, my God. It's not that hard. And also, why are you taking Harry Kane out of the game that early? Don't you want to win the friggin' game? You're playing Denmark. Why are you afraid of them?
Well, it's because Gareth. If there's one thing Gareth loves, it's Ollie Watkins. Gareth Southgate.
I like him too. Well, you know what they should do?
but-
Play him and Kane together. That's what they should do.
He'll never do it.
Never.
No way.
Yeah.
They should, I think they need to change the formation. He's not going to do
He
it.
won't
but-
do it.
No. That's why he's the British Berhalter. Always. And I mean,
They need
always.
They need BJ Callahan.
Oh, BJ. I wish he was coaching the U.S. I mean, he's basically the pseudo coach right now if you see him, but we'll get to them later. But Cole Palmer, 0 minutes.
Oh,
0 minutes. 0 minutes. All right, were you happy about Conor Gallagher getting a yellow?
I got a lot of flashbacks.
Some PTSD.
The way he's played so far is like the way he played before 2024, which was not very good.
Yeah.
And then he
I
figured.
think that's a little harsh.
No, he played well at Palace.
I wasn't talking about Palace. I was talking about this year. I'm not talking about Palace.
You said 20 before 2024.
Before 2024.
Excuse me. I meant in the 2023 calendar part of
There
the
you go.
season.
All right, fine. Yeah.
He was
fine.
not very good. And
That's
then
fair.
he's like, "Oh wow, let me figure out how to play." Well, really, it was all just get rid of Enzo Fernandez. But we'll talk about Argentina later. But I mean, the funniest thing was after the game. Gareth Southgate goes, we don't have a natural replacement for Calvin Phillips. Well, he's not dead, Gareth. If you want him so badly, then take him. I understand he's out of form, but you've never been afraid to take people on that weren't in
Jordan
form.
Henderson.
You died with
Maguire.
Harry Maguire all those years, but Calvin Phillips, no? Come on, Gareth. I mean, he's not 80. It's like he has anything better
with
to
his
do.
injury history,
Well, I mean, was he or was he not instrumental in 2020? Remember
he was. The
wow.
problem is
Remember 2020 was like, 2021 it was Calvin Phillips, the next great midfielder, like, going nuts. Another thing, Declan Rice, what the hell is he doing? Every time I see him, he's flying around, he's running around in circles, and then he's on the ground, talking out of the side of his mouth to the ref. That's what I see.
When's the last time England's midfield actually helped them win a match?
2021 Euros, Calvin Phillips.
Yep. Their midfield is always the second best midfield on the pitch, no matter who they're playing. Every time I watch them,
It's hilarious.
the Yunus Musa, Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams midfield outplayed the English midfield at the World Cup. It's just, I'm telling you, they don't want to be there. They don't. They'd rather go home and, maybe take a flight over.
Holiday.
Maybe take a flight over to Jamaica and go to Leon Bailey's club. that he's
They want to
hanging
go
out
to
at.
they want to go to Ibiza like Ten Hag.
Yeah, no.
But I just
Rough.
they were just so. And the funniest thing, and the other thing we talked about before the show, but was the fact that I think our biggest concern collectively with England was the defense, and the defense is fine.
Yeah.
They've held up pretty good. I think Mark Gay.
I've been their best part.
Yeah, I think Gahey and Stones have been pretty solid. I think Trippier.
He was the best part on the field today for them.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good today. Made a big stop at the end of the game, and they're doing fine. They're doing their part, but this attack, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't understand why he's so like Bowen. Yes, Palmer. No, and Bowen had a really good year, but I don't know. They're both young, so I don't want to hear about the fact that like, oh, it's not like there's a big difference in the amount of games that they've played for England. So I don't know. I mean, if you have a loaded gun, Gareth, use it.
He won't.
I know it's a drastic example, but you get the point.
Mm-hmm.
After a few seconds, I got the point.
Just to add on to everything you guys have mentioned, I think what's interesting is he's come into this tournament with so much pressure, Southgate. I thought he was going to be a little more expansive, knowing his job was at risk.
Job's at risk.
Die on the sword.
But like you would have thought with the players he brought, he'd be a little more attacking minded, or he should have been.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think if he weren't to get back to the final at the very least, I think his job would be 100% gone. I don't know. Maybe that's a little too lenient. And maybe it's winner he's gone. I don't know. But either way, right now, and we can quickly do a quick whip around to see what everybody thinks, but this team is nowhere close to getting to a quarterfinal right now.
Nope.
Let alone a final, let alone winning a final. So
yeah, but you know what's happened? They're gonna have an easy path, just like they did at the 2018 World Cup, where they didn't have to play any good teams. And they'll eke it out, and they'll find a way to like the last 8 or whatever, or the final 4.
Yeah, but if you look at my Alexi Lawless power rankings.
Oh, Jesus.
No. Sorry. My Andrew Hard power rankings right now. You got at least, I'm going to name off the teams who I prefer to take over Germany, or not Germany, take over England right now. 1, Germany.
Yes.
Easily. Germany. I would take Spain easily.
Yep.
I would still take, hesitantly, Italy. Hesitantly.
I wish Spalletti was the manager of England.
I'd take the Dutch and the French both. And I'd probably still take Portugal over them. Croatia, I would usually take Croatia, but I mean it's been a little rough. But that right there, that's 1, 2, and I probably right now I have more faith in Switzerland than England. Right now, I have more faith.
Did you say Portugal?
Yeah, he did. He did say Portugal.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams I would take over England right now. I mean that's you can't in the European Championships. No,
you know who showed
who
showed more heart than England? You only played one game. You know who showed more heart than England? Austria.
Yeah. They missed Sabitzer. England needs Sabitzer.
Oh man. Oh, they need Rangnick.
I'm telling you, don't doubt Wreck-It Ralph.
They need Ralph.
You know who England
needs? We get to see Ralph tomorrow, so
I can't wait.
Who are they playing?
They're playing Poland.
Lock. They're gonna win that game.
Wow, lock. All right.
England needs Sam Allardyce.
Anything else? Move on?
They need to get Harry Redknapp out of retirement.
They need Sir Alex.
Yeah, right.
God.
Anyways.
Imagine him managing Scotland.
Oh,
Yeah, John McGinn.
Scott McTominay would be playing like every single position.
I've had enough of that Billy Gilmore.
My guy Billy Gilmore. I'm so happy he got the start. Anyways,
All right, I think that's enough England.
yeah, that's enough.
Frauds. All right, let's move on to a team we didn't mention in Andrew's power rankings, but
because they're frauds.
Yeah, Belgium. Yeah, not a good performance. Jeremy Doku was at fault for the goal given up. Lukaku had how many chances? Probably 6 or 7.
Lukaku. It was a Lukaku performance. Yes, it was, Jacob. Yes, it was.
I think that they were more unlucky than bad.
No.
Let's have Jacob explain. Go ahead.
All right.
By the way, they lost to Slovakia. For those of us who
it's a bad loss, but it wasn't. I mean, the offside. Well, all right. The offside was bad break. Some of the chances that they missed were bad breaks. I don't really understand why Witsel didn't play. That really bothered me. It was someone with his experience and his decent form, and especially with the fact that they just are in somewhat of a transition. I'll say this: who they miss? Eden Hazard, a real captain, unlike Kevin De Bruyne. But anyway, I just
Courtois.
God did it. I mean, it's crazy how what was the score of that game?
1-0.
They lose 1-0. Courtois is not there, and it's just I just can't believe that was the case. That they only lost 1-0 without Courtois there, and they couldn't score a goal. I mean, Lukaku, this is what he does. I mean, he's gonna make you want to rip your hair out. That's just how he is. But he's still their all-time leading goal scorer, right?
Yep.
He'll turn up. They're gonna get out of the group. I do. They're gonna get out of this group. I feel very confident saying that.
It's not for certain.
It's not a guarantee.
Yeah, it'll be rough.
They'll eke one out. Romania had their moment in the sun. It's over.
Yeah, amazing moment in the sun. 3 goal. Oh my lord!
Live on Fubu.
God, what a joke! I'm not downloading that.
Me neither. But I don't. I think Belgium. I'm not quitting on them. I can't.
Still scale of 1 to 10. How confident are you that they'll finish top 2? Because again, if they finish third, they're going to get a bad matchup going into the round of 16.
7.5.
You feel they will finish top 2 still then?
Yeah. In that group, yeah.
Ricardo, what's your level of confidence?
I mean, I would say
with the way Ukraine looked too, 7.5.
Yeah, but I guess they're also going to be fighting for a spot in the next round, considering how they played and if they lose tomorrow or whenever they play. It is tomorrow. Yeah, they play tomorrow. Like they'll be desperate too. So I don't know. It's not a guarantee necessarily. I give it a 6.5.
I was gonna go probably a 6.5. Yeah, that's probably about right. To be top 2, yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, I think 6. It's Slovakia defended really well, and Romania, as we mentioned, were probably one of the better impressive teams in the first round of games. I would not be surprised if Belgium finishes third, but again, Ukraine's going to have to play with some desperation tomorrow. Because they weren't good either. I think they were probably worse. The only difference is that Belgium just has higher expectations from fans.
Yeah,
I know Ukraine's a dark horse team, but this is Belgium's last shot with this group. I mean, it's a group in transition. They have some youngsters coming in, but I mean, I think Openda's is going to have to be a player that starts tomorrow or Saturday. I don't know. If you guys want to take a look at their lineup from the first game, what do you think should change in that aspect? Because I think there were some really poor performances. I thought Trossard was really silent too.
He was not good.
I think they have to play Witsel to me.
Yeah.
I really don't understand why you would keep him as an onion. I just don't get it. He's not a guy that I'd want him in a major tournament, in important games. Someone who's been in a lot.
He was good
of
for
games.
Atletico Madrid this season too.
Yeah, he's good for Dortmund. He's a good player. I mean, I just don't really understand the logic behind not having him play. I mean, I don't know.
I think I would bring Openda in and play 2 strikers.
I mean, you think Mangala is better than Witsel?
Well, I think Witzel played center back this season, so you could just
but he can play as a midfielder.
You can. I also would consider playing Tielemans from the start too.
I was about to say
I would too. I've always been a Tielemans guy.
Because
I think a double pivot of Tielemans and Onana, I think would be much better on Saturday.
This is a little tough, but did you see the clip of Onana after the game? He was getting interviewed, and someone went, Andre, and he like went out of his French, and he's like, Andre's not my name, bro. Like English guy. It was so funny.
No, but I just want to go back to that point. I just think in that first game specifically, they were lacking that kind of distributor in the midfield, sort of someone who would give the ball out to the other midfielders, and they just couldn't build up. And having Tielemans in there would probably make it a little easier, a little better, and smoother in transition, I guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, they had opportunities in the final third. They would just crumble in lose possession, or they get up for a corner and then they just have a really bad set piece. But yeah, no, I think a Tielemans Onana midfield double pivot, De Bruyne, of course, the center attacking mid would be a good change for them. Also, I mean, I didn't like Bakayoko, who plays for my favorite Dutch side, PSV Eindhoven. Very aware of, been watching this game for a while, but I thought he was brought on way too early, and I realized they were trying to maybe change it up and have a different attack, but it was kind of just a weird substitution in the sense of that really wasn't where I thought Belgium's problem. I know Trossard pretty much disappeared, but Bakayoko and Doku, Bakayoko is pretty much just a budget Doku.
Yeah,
they very similar play styles, but I didn't think that was the right move that early. What was it, the
57th minute?
57th minute, yeah, that was way too early for that. And then he waited till the 75th minute to bring on the Tielemans, but yeah, it was just weird subs, weird placements for the subs. But I mean, like I said, I think Belgium will get through as a third place finisher. But if they can't pull out this result against Slovakia, I don't have much faith against the Ukraine, who I'd rate higher than Slovakia. And then, of course, Romania, they did have banger after banger after banger against my guy, Andre Lunin. So
talk about it.
Which then brings me around to, was it Carlos' fault? But we'll talk about that another time.
That's more vindication of the UCL final.
But I mean, simply put, though, I know, Jacob, you said Lukaku's going to have those moments of, pure horse poop, to put it lightly. But it just, with Belgium now, when was the last time? I mean, this last World Cup, he had some very, very bad moments. There wasn't a single good Lukaku moment that I can remember. He missed 3 sitters.
He also missed a big chance in the Champions League final.
Yep.
Oh, God.
So,
yeah.
In those big games,
year,
I mean, I can't remember who it was, but I do remember what you're talking about, Andrew, because it was, I think, in the last group game where he had a chance to keep them alive, and he just completely wasted
Croatia?
it. I'm going to double check quickly, but Maybe it was them.
You might be right.
Yeah, no, literally, there's 3 sitters. Right.
Belgium's last group game was a 0-0 draw against Croatia.
Yeah, no, it was.
He came off the bench and had 3 shots that went off target.
Amazing.
Classic Lukaku.
Lukaku. It was Lukaku, not Lukaku.
Sure.
It was not Lukaku. Great TikTok I saw. The guy in the Aroma Lukaku kid. And he goes, Lukaku, and then he gets the ball, turns around, and just chips it up like 10 feet above the goal, wide open. It was like fast. It was like triple speed. It was so funny. It was so funny. I have to find it. But yeah, no. But that's the only. By the way, Belgium are to finish in the top 2. That's the only way they do is if Lukaku is better. If Lukaku can score,
he'll score a goal.
And of course, he almost did in this game, but it was taken away.
He did, and they took it away. I mean, I gotta say this too. The handball rules are they drive me insane.
It was the right call.
I know, but what are you supposed to do?
I feel that, Jacob.
You have to continue to play. You can't just. It's.
And me and Ricardo, we had enough of Dr. Joe.
Hey.
Don't bring him up. I don't want to.
Dr. Joe was off his rocker.
Dr. Joe is a National Soccer Hall of Famer. Give him some respect.
No, I won't.
Mickey
Dr.
Mouse
Joe.
Hall of Fame.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but not sorry. Absolute terrible.
Former star of the New York Ukrainians.
Who?
Good for him.
It was a club team.
Good for him.
50 years ago.
That's all he gets from me. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, let's move on to
Jacob talking about wanting to understand guys. He wants to hear more of Mark Clattenburg.
I don't want. I'd rather listen to him than Dr. Joe. I mean, what's Blandino doing at this time of year? He works for Fox.
He just got done with a.
What's Pereira doing?
Pereira just got done with a long UFL season. He's getting a break.
Oh Jesus!
He's their head of officiating. So,
all right, that's enough officiating talk. Let's move over to Portugal, who, like the 2 teams we just mentioned, were not very good, but still got a good result. I picked them to win the whole thing, so I'm a little concerned. A few of the others picked them to get to a final.
Yeah, because they got the best captain.
I didn't watch the first half of this match, so I will deviate to you guys before I talk. What did we think of that match from a Portugal perspective?
It was,
oh god,
it kind of reminded me of Spain today, where they just couldn't finish a lot of their chances. Where they seemed in control of the game. I didn't really have a doubt they were going to win early on. It was more just they just got unlucky and they couldn't finish. It seemed like there was a little bit of the first game rust that they had. But I thought that the 11 for the most part was pretty good. I didn't agree with all of it. There was definitely some moves that I would have done differently. I just want to look at it now. What were the ones in particular? Let's see.
I mean, you had Dalot and Cancelo in the lineup together.
Yeah.
I thought initially.
I thought Leao was pretty bad.
Yeah, he was all right.
It's been sort of that kind of season for him.
I just think I keep hearing all this hype about him, and I want more when I watch him play. If he's this hyped up, when I watch him, I'm just not that impressed.
He was fine. I don't think he was.
I mean, he's fine. I kind of wish that they could find the. I'm like a sucker for Ruben Neves. I want to see him score a long shot goal.
No,
I want him to play. Also, I wouldn't have Paulinho on the bench. I think Paulinho should start.
Over who?
I mean, I think you could go to a back 4, drop one of Dalot or Cancelo, and then play a natural midfield 3.
I mean, I don't think that you need three. I don't think you need three center backs.
And Bruno ahead of Paulinho.
What I would do is I take Mendes out. I stick with Pepe and Diaz, and then I put Paulinho.
Mendes couldn't pass the ball to save his life. But...
Yeah, I take him out.
I mean, you could take out him and play Dallo as a left back.
Yeah, he did a lot this year. I would stick Paulinho in there as a 6. That's what I would do because I think Paulinho is really good.
Oh, so would you drop Vitinha?
No, but it would just be 3. No, if you take Mendes out, it's a back 4 instead of a back 5 or back 3 or whatever, and then that gives you a midfield spot that you can use. So I would stick Paulinho in there.
Okay.
That's what I would do. But yeah. I mean, they won, so it doesn't mean, it worked. I guess the subs worked because yeah, they're the ones that
in the end.
Just don't use João. Don't use João Felix, Roberto. You're gonna regret
next big thing. Hey, Ronaldo didn't score, but it was a good Ronaldo day. He looked like he belonged.
Yeah.
That's the highest of praise I can give to Cristiano Ronaldo at 39 right now.
When he was
after playing a full season and a half in the Saudi league, the fact that he looked like he still kind of belonged, impressive at 39, I have to say. And when Conceição scored, what ended up being the winning goal for Portugal, Ronaldo was the first person to go to him with the biggest smile and the biggest hug
because he's a great teammate. He's a great leader.
I don't know if
I'm not going to let you slander Ronaldo. Career. I'm sick and tired of the Ronaldo.
I have a personal bias because of James Rodriguez. I have a personal bias.
Stop it.
He ruined James.
Oh, bull crap. Ruined James.
He's like, hey, James, come to the nightclub with me.
If you can't hang, you can't hang. It's not built different like CR7.
But Ronaldo looked like he belonged. I mean, Vitinha was very good. I thought Bruno Fernandes was really good. I mean, I wouldn't make any changes to that midfield per se.
Okay.
I thought they were just fine. Now it's the Czech Republic. I said going in, they're gonna go in as a third place team to the knockout stages. I think it's gonna be a tough out. So 2-1, I think is a respectable score. It's fine. I'm not worried about Portugal. Turkey did have an impressive first performance, so that
our guy
Arda, what a golazo. But I'm not worried about Portugal. I don't have them in the final like you guys, but I do think they at least get to semifinals still.
Okay.
Now, what I'm looking forward to most, guess he's calling Turkey-Portugal on Saturday.
Derek Ray.
Derek Ray. Let's go.
My number one booth is still Ian Dark and Landon Donovan's growing on me.
Not growing like his hair?
You beat me to the punch.
No, Derek Ray. I can't wait. All those Portuguese or Nuno Mendes.
I like the Derek Ray ad read for baseball. That's Yankees and Red Sox.
Live at Rickwood Field. The Cardinals in the Giants. As Lamont Wade.
No.
Yeah, no. Derek Ray, Robert Green, and our guy, Tom Rinaldi, is going to give a sad Ronaldo story.
He already did.
He's going to give another. But, yeah, not worried.
Make me cry.
Good to know. As the guy who picked them and the only person to pick them to win it all, seems like you guys are more optimistic than most people are about.
I'm just glad that Ronaldo looked. I'm just glad that Ronaldo looked like he looked.
Ronaldo looked like he belonged.
He looked reborn. He had that glimmer in his eye.
I would just say the final third is the iffy. The weird thing is, that's the only iffy part about it.
It's gonna be fine
for the team.
Yeah, no, I was just
Ronaldo's
like
gonna
they
be
weren't.
fine.
No, chemistry. I think it was also just a bit of rust, maybe
Sure.
maybe not having played
Yeah.
together very often. The final third just wasn't quite there, but they figured it out in the end. So it mattered.
Yep.
You know, that's all that
All that
matters.
matters in the group.
Yeah,
Imagine if they have a penalty and Bruno wants to take it, and
It's
then
gonna be
Ronaldo looks at him like,
Bruno's not even gonna there.
No, he's not even.
Bruno's not gonna.
He's not even gonna put the ball down.
not even sniffing that. Yeah,
Yeah, no.
I do think their midfield is where I think they either win this whole thing or don't. I think that's where they could dominate matches because when they were searching for goals in the second half, Vitinha was dropping deep and then putting good balls in. Bruno did that. Bernardo Silva. So I think if those three have really good knockout stages, I mean, I feel really good about them. I think it's only going to be a matter of time before Ronaldo, Leao, Jota. I mean, these guys.
Leao missed a really close chance. I mean, it was a perfect ball. I forgot who delivered the ball to him, but he was diving with his front foot just inches away. It would have been a goal.
Leao needs to be a little bit better.
Yeah,
or a lot better.
He had an iffy club year. He had an iffy club year in AC Milan. So I don't know. Weird form.
Yep. But that's enough of teams that were good, not so great. Let's talk about Germany, who for me has probably been the most impressive team. Not, super under the radar as the host, but I thought they were excellent against Scotland, given, they get the red card and that changes the game. But 2 wins in 2, you can't really ask for much more than that. Ricardo, I'll start with you. What's your thoughts on them after 2 matches?
I mean, their midfield is really just. I mean, Musiala specifically. I mean, Toni Kroos has been phenomenal. You can name the entire. Andrick has been really good too.
Yeah,
they're running the show. It's really. I mean, it's very clearly the strength of their team, and I'm not surprised that they're doing this well. But it's still I'm still blown away by them.
My guy, Ilkay Gundogan.
I mean, it's just delivering on all fronts, and even without the true number 9, I guess, playing Kai Havertz up there, they're still creating tons of chances. And Musiala, I just have to highlight him because he's scored twice now. Just electric, Florian Wirtz. I haven't even mentioned too.
I think he's been all right. I don't.
No, Wirtz has been really good.
Wirtz has been good.
Yeah, Wirtz has been good.
Just any of those 5, they've all been really good, and defensively they've been good as well. So I only allowed the 1 goal, which was an own goal from Rudiger, tragically, but
they have Derek Christopher player. Ta.
Bayer Leverkusen. He loves Germany.
I will say, I'm just a little surprised that they haven't conceded more because Ty and Rudiger have been good.
Yeah,
but just their wing, like Kimmich on the
right. Kimmich has been bad. I thought personally.
Mittelstadt is at left back, and in his last game, that's where I thought the weakness would be exploited a bit more, but it just hasn't yet.
I think the problem with Kimmich is he's basically what Southgate wants Trent to be. Like Kimmich wants to play midfield and he can't, and it annoys him because he's like, I don't want to defend. Just give me the ball. And then he's like, fine, let me run back and lay out lunge and save the ball. That's Kimmich. But I think he's gonna be. I'm not worried about Kimmich at all.
Yeah, no. Especially with Nagelsmann.
This is the funny thing about Nagelsmann. Isn't it hilarious how him and Flick swap jobs not once but twice? Well, at least Flick has it all going at Bayern. They bring in Nagelsmann. He can't get along with the board. He can't handle big players, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Flick could never really get his foot down on Germany, but then they bring in Nagelsmann and he has it all figured out. I mean, it's interesting to me how that dynamic happened. But they are in great form. And a lot of it's because they didn't have frauds like Mesut Ozil, clogging up the team.
Oh.
All right. Well,
one of the most overrated players.
Uncalled for.
Not at Arsenal, he was mind-numbingly overrated. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Massive fraud.
That's I will take that. Internationally, he's not
And
wouldn't take
thank
that.
God they don't have. Imagine if they had Timo Werner on this team. Oh, they would. They wouldn't have won 5-1. I'll tell you that.
Well, not Ricardo. They may not have a true number 9 starting,
I
but
know.
Nicholas Füllkrug as a super sub is, I mean, it's perfect. He's the best probably super sub in this tournament. I mean, his goal rate internationally is incredible, considering how little he plays.
Yep.
So
12 goals and 17 appearances.
And that's playing about 35 to 45 minutes a match. Like literally, it's insane with Füllkrug. And I mean, and hey, you got to give it to Nagelsmann too. Steadfast about, hey, we're not dropping Neuer. We're not dropping Neuer. We're starting Neuer. I was a little worried, to be honest, like everyone else, when he was saying that, because Neuer was going through a little rough patch.
You don't drop a goat.
Exactly.
It's like Ronaldo with Portugal. You don't drop a goat.
And he's looked just fine. So I you can't. Terrific job by Nagelsmann in that regard too. So
you also can't drop a goat when the tournament is in your country.
That's a very, very good point.
Yeah.
Very good point.
You said that in the last episode.
I said that because I'm like, the backlash you would have gotten if you know what, Neuer, sorry, you're not going to play in this tournament.
Captain too. Yeah,
maybe your last one. No sorry, bye. I mean, that's
wasn't Gundogan the captain?
Oh yeah, I guess vice captain then.
Neuer's like the
he's the emotional. Yeah.
But I mean, that's right now for me. That's their number one if you're putting the power rank together, right?
Yeah.
Argue against that.
Yeah.
I think if they continue to get goals from the midfield, this is a team that I would feel very confident about winning the whole thing at home. Because Musiala and Wirtz have been incredible. And we talked about them playing one of them off the wing and not playing a Sane, who I think has been pretty underwhelming when he's come in.
Yeah.
I think if he continues to roll with them and they are good in possession, obviously they're excellent on the ball in terms of creating for others too. This team's at home. I feel very good about them going forward.
Leroy Sané is probably one of the most underwhelming players in the world. I mean, every single time he had that long goalless stretch.
It was like October
to March. Yeah. And then every time he touches the ball, it's like it's always heavy. It always goes like 10 feet in front of him.
It's so sad because at Man City he was so good.
Yeah. No,
working under Pep. Since then, nothing's worked out.
Yeah,
I loved him at Man City. It's one of my favorites.
It's been a rough stretch with club and internationally. So yeah, don't know how long they're gonna keep. I mean, he has the talent. He still has the talent. He just can't put it all together. I don't get it.
He's now 28 too, so this is the time where he should be, at his best, and it's not there right now. But I think that's enough on Germany. Let's talk about another team who's impressed. Spain, 2 wins and 2, dominated Croatia in the first game. Surprised me personally. And then today, against a very strong and difficult team to go up against in Italy, excellent defensively, found a way to get a result. So I think Spain, again, one of the other two teams, along with Germany, that's done really well. But Jacob, I'll start with you. What do you think of them?
They look really good. They look like I feel like it seems like they've been searching for an identity for like 8 years, and they finally found it. There isn't like a big drama about like, oh, they left this guy out, they didn't bring in this guy. There's none of that anymore. It's sort of like the guys that were a part of the old guard are gone, and that's fine. And the new guard's in, and they belong. Lamine Yamal's 16. He's 16. I mean, this is crazy. And Morata, the captain, I did not see that coming, but the first goal he scored was really nice. The thing is, Rodri hasn't even been that good. He hasn't been like Rodri yet. I do think that the first yellow card he got on that penalty was absolutely ludicrous because he didn't even touch the friggin' guy. and they immediately go, "Oh, it's Rodri penalty," which is such bull crap. I'm sure Dr. Joe thought that was the best call ever. But I still don't. My biggest concern, honestly, is I'm not an Unai Simon guy. I think Raya's better, and I had more faith in Raya.
Simon hasn't conceded a goal yet.
I know. Well, he should have in the first
almost,
game.
yeah.
He got bailed out. But I don't see a lot of weaknesses with this Spain team.
No.
And they haven't really unleashed their bench yet either, and they haven't really had to. And they have a really good bench.
If you look at their bench, dude. Alejandro
I can't believe
Grimaldo.
Navas is still there. I can't believe Navas is still there.
Our guy, Ricardo Joselu.
Oh, did you see him on the phone before the game? Like, who's he talking to?
Dude, he's going to come on in like a knockout game and score or just a random 89th minute goal.
And I will say this. Nothing beat the joke they had about Laporte during the game. About how he hates the Saudi traffic. And I will say this. I killed him a lot this year. But my guy, Marc Cucurella.
Yeah.
And I knew he's maturing. This is how I knew. When he was called for a foul, and instead of screaming at the ref, he just walked away.
Well,
that's how I knew he's maturing.
That's in part because of the rules, right? Like unless
but that's part of it too. The maturity.
Because Marc Cucurella is the king of screaming at refs at the top of his lungs. He does it every time he gets a foul, which is one of the things I don't like about him, because he begs to get yellow cards, but he's clearly learning his lesson. I remember when they showed the video of when he got announced that he made the team, and he was with his whole family. He was so happy. He's got a lot of potential and talent. If he can get better at crossing the ball, his defensive skills are there to me, because he crashes people. He crashes the ball. He's got a lot better making cleaner tackles. I think he had 51 passes today. They were all completed. He's just a really good, solid player. And still got I think Carvajal is a great elder statesman to have in the team.
I cried.
I wish my guy Cesar Azpilicueta could make the team, but it's okay. Then I would have started bawling, crying. But anyway, I feel really good about the Spain team. I thought Donnarumma gave them everything that they could handle. I do think it's weird because they were lucky to win with an own goal, but I thought they were definitely the much better team than Italy today, and they deserved to have the win. They deserved to have a game where they scored more, but Donnarumma was so good today that it had to be an own goal.
Yeah.
But they'll take it. They're already through. And it's good that the fact that they don't have Rodri for the next game, they don't even have to worry, because the game doesn't matter. I mean, that could not have worked out any better for them in that regard. So if I were them, it's not. I wouldn't go fully like rest everybody, but I would not. If a guy's even the slightest bit like cramping, I am yanking him out of the game as soon as possible. So I think that's a luxury that they have right now.
Just another name to mention too. I think Lamine Yamal has been awesome. But I hope Nico Williams' quality doesn't go undiscussed. I think for the rest of this tournament. Today, 4 chances created, 4 dribbles completed. Had a really good season at Bilbao. I think it was 16 assists in all competitions. I just think Jacob, you talked about the youth coming in and that refresh of players. He's part of it. I think he's been awesome, particularly today. I thought he was really good, and I expect big things from him, not only, against Albania if he plays, but I think in the knockout stage, just because they're going to need both Yamal and Williams to be good, to create for Morata. Because, again, I think the one thing you could be worried about is where do the goals come from, because there's not going to be goals coming from the midfield unless Rodri – he's going to come up with what he does for Manchester City. But I think Williams is a player that can be creative, a goal scorer as well. So I think he's an important player going forward.
Yeah. No. I mean, just watching Williams, I'd watched him a few times during the season, and I I'm glad that he's getting the recognition now. Even though he plays for Bilbao and don't really like them that much, I still really do like his game. And the fact that he's now shining on arguably one of the biggest stages in the sport. I mean, I'm just glad it's happening now because he's been a good player. It's just because he plays for Bilbao, he doesn't get much attention. So, but yeah, no, he was cooking Di Lorenzo the entire game. Talk about Lamine Yamal doing his homework too on Di Marco. He's basically cooking. His homework was just to cook him, and them two together just. I love how direct they are. They're not afraid to attack the defender. Just go right at him. Like, I feel like wingers aren't as. I guess wingers have evolved to a certain extent to be more possession based, but these two would just remind me of just straight direct going at you. I don't know, but just that part of the game I feel like is it's kind of disappeared a little bit. But them two, they're amazing. Just watching them, that tandem.
Well, with Yamal specifically, the fact he's always he's 16. The moment does not phase him. Even during Champions League, that was the whole reason. Part of the reason why Jacob thought the Barca frauds were going to win the Champions League, because players like Lamine Yamal were really stepping up in the Champions League and looking good. I think Spain, now Germany might have the two best young players in this tournament. Spain definitely has the best overall, I think, young generation coming up. Just overall player. Don't forget they're without Gavi right now, recovering from the torn ACL. They got a lot of really good young players, and a lot of them being showcased in this tournament right now, getting a lot of playing time and beating two very quality teams in a group of death. I mean,
they sort of were faced with. They got the tough part out early, and they passed the test both times,
and won in different ways too.
Yes.
Yep. So everything you want from a young team going into this tournament, they're in good shape going into the knockout stages, definitely. But I think that's all on those teams. Let's discuss teams we've been disappointed with. There's plenty. It's difficult again with some of these because I think half of the groups have only played one match. But anyone want to start?
Croatia. I mean, you can't not beat Albania. Sorry. I mean, come on. I will say this, Albania is a lot better than I thought they were, but I don't care. You should still be able to beat Albania. And yes, Spain's a very good team, but I don't think they should have gotten embarrassed the way that they did. I think that they should have been able to have that game be competitive. That was my biggest takeaway, was that Spain looks good, but wow, Croatia just looks like they didn't even belong. And they just feel like they were prepared. I was really taken aback and go, all right, well, that was not what I was expecting. Especially from a team that's had the same manager for a while, that has been through a lot of big challenges with this group. I expected more, and I've expected more. They still got to play Italy, and who need to win that game. And Croatia, I think, not beating Albania really did them in. So I'm going to stick with them as the team I think has disappointed me, especially because they've played two matches and I have the bigger sample size.
Mm-hmm. Just to add on to that, conceding in the 95th minute with the experience this team has, knowing that 3 points was probably going to be good
friggin' Albania. I mean, come on.
Unacceptable. Definitely one of the disappointing teams. Ricardo, anyone stand out for you?
I'm going to say England, because I don't care if they have 4 points. They've looked awful in both games. So, you know what? And I'm also, just because, Jude's playing for the team, and I love Jude, and he just doesn't look like the Jude that we know and love. So.
Oh, well, I was waiting for the Jude criticism. I go, we're going to get Jude criticism.
Oh, yeah, I'm not glazing them. I'm not. They all suck. But I
feel like there's a chance to kind of defend Jude here.
Because he's not playing the way he plays at Real Madrid, which is the obvious counterpoint, I guess. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't excuse the
very different.
Carlos not there to hold his hand, but he's still got to be better.
Exactly. I think he what was it, 10 dribbles lost or something like that.
That's true.
It was like his worst. It was bad. It was just there's no. I love Jude, but the whole
You're
team
right.
sucks, man. They're awful. God, I've had enough of Southgate.
We all
We
have.
all.
Oh, I said this before the show, but it's like he's more focused on teaching the English players about the War of 1812 over.
He teaches them how to give good answers to the press.
They're not even good answers, though.
No, but answers that won't get them in trouble.
Yeah, Jade, go talk to Micah Richards about the kit that you're supposed to get from him.
Give Jeff Streves an answer where you're not going to get in trouble.
Joke. Absolute joke.
All right, Croatia, England. Andrew, who are we going with?
This is a personal one for me because I picked them as my dark horse.
Here we go.
Hungary. I thought I knew I had a feeling they were going to lose both these matches. Well, at least the Germany one. I thought they could beat Switzerland, or at least draw Switzerland, because I thought they would get 4 points out of this group. And the fact that they've not even looked somewhat close to either of these teams, kind of disappointing. They had chances. It's not like they didn't create any chances. Zoboslai has looked very good, I thought. If you look at his foot mob, it's not great. But I thought he's been making
Your eye test.
It's just the eye test on Zoboslai. He's I feel bad for him because he's been I thought very good throughout.
Doesn't have a lot of help.
Matches,
I mean,
but that's the thing. He doesn't have a lot of help. But I thought maybe they could be a sneaky, just random team that will get through to a knockout stage, top two of the group. And they still have a chance being third, but I just think at that it's going to be really tough with only 3 points. If that's if they beat Scotland, so which will be tough on its own. Yeah, Hungary for me. It's just a sad watch for my own take. Just watching it burn.
Just to talk about those points that you probably will need for a third place. The only team that had 3 points and got to the knockout stages in 2021 was Ukraine. So maybe it's a little different this time around. I don't know what the numbers look like historically, but I'm going to go with Ukraine for disappointing. I know it's only one match, but
it's really bad.
I took them as a group winner, which, I mean, maybe is still possible. Probably very unlikely to have to win 2 games. But I just thought the goals they gave up, again, some of them were just struck really well, but I thought they were just poor across the board. I expected more out of Dobic, Mudryk, Zinchenko with his ability. I just think this team, that's a big wake-up call for them. And I think, they'll respond well tomorrow. I don't know if it'll result in 3 points against Slovakia, but I think they're still in okay shape to potentially finish the third place team if it doesn't pan out for them in the top 2. But again, one game of a sample size is not huge, but they definitely need to be better tomorrow if they want a positive result.
I'm just angry that Ukraine's going to be on Fubo again. Are you kidding me? Two group stage matches of the same team on Fubo? Give me a break. I'll be finding that leaked ITV feed somewhere.
All right, let's move on to teams we've been impressed by. I know we've mentioned a few, but anyone want to mention someone else in addition? Andrew, I'll start with you.
Turkey. Man, Golasso Central. Dude, Arda Güler. We just need to find a way. I don't want to let this kid go.
Loan.
Chelsea?
Say it.
We're so stacked. We're so stacked. We're just so stacked. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Ricardo.
What a terrible problem to have.
What were you gonna say, Ricardo?
No, I was just doing a celebration. I'm just.
Oh, you're doing the celebration. Oh my god, duh.
I just love Arda so much. Oh my god,
so good. He's so good.
I love him more than Camavinga. I admit it, guys. You
I
heard it
hope
here
that Arda
first.
doesn't have.
I think you've been on the Arda Güler train for forever.
I hope that
so
Arda
I
doesn't
have,
have
yeah.
a lot of thoughts about his country, because if he does, he's not going to be able to get out of Turkey.
that was a good one. No, no. I mean, I didn't see. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see 3 goals coming out of them the first match. Didn't see how, but they did it. I know it was Georgia, but who cares? It was fun, and just because they're fun, we need a lot of these Euro matches have been fun. There's been very few very poor matches, but these were the best highlights.
Ricardo?
Can I say Albania, even though they've lost?
Yeah,
and
sure,
drawn?
why not?
Absolutely.
I feel like they've put up a fight in both games. I mean, again, I specifically said, no shot. Thanks for playing. Like, thanks for being here. But no, they've shown up in both games against Italy. I mean, the fact they scored the fastest goal in Euro history is, I mean, that already to start a game was insane. But I mean, they were in that game, even when they trailed, they still had chances in the end. But and then to come back and draw against Croatia, I mean, yeah, fair play. Like they just no let up in this team. No, they came to play. They really nothing to lose really. So yeah, they deserve some love.
They were winners in my heart when they were snapping the spaghetti in front of the Italians.
That was good. That was really great. I like that a lot.
That was 3 points in my book.
Jacob?
I know they lost to, but they lost to a great team.
Oh no,
And
there's only one way this is going.
Austria, baby.
Oh my.
You see, Ricardo doesn't want to admit that Austria are a lot better than he thinks that they are.
I don't want to admit that, but I will admit that they are.
They broke our guy's nose.
Yeah, what the
their
hell?
fault.
Yeah, well, they're gritty. I told you, Wreck-It Ralph.
Now he's playing with the Ninja Turtle mask. No,
No, I don't understand why he doesn't have Arnautovic starting in the game, but you know,
I can tell you why.
Because he sucks.
They're better off.
It doesn't matter. He can't score.
I don't know. I don't know if the attacking options that they have right now are better. That obviously Savitzer aside, but he's not a striker.
Grealish is fine.
I thought they played with a lot of heart against France. I thought they really hung in there, and they gave them a really good game. Even when Mbappe was, pre-nose breaking, I thought that they were really good, and I think they're going to get out of this group. I really do. I'm sticking with them. They're good. They're going to get out of the group. They're beating Poland. I feel very confident. I think that they can get a draw out of the Netherlands. I really do. I know it's a hot. I'm feeling it. Ronald Koeman. The Dutch they're the most hit and miss team ever. They're either going to be the best team in the tournament or the worst team in the tournament. There's no in between.
Yep.
Mbappe still should have scored.
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah,
that was one of the worst Mbappe misses I've seen, and I'm so worried now.
He's
so worried.
Worried.
I'm not worried at all. Please, we're fine. He's fine.
Did the move change him?
No,
he needs the 10.
As Ian Dark said, has 164 million euros a year changed them?
No, Ian. Thanks for your input on that. No.
The answer is no. But I'll mention Romania as another team. Again, they dominated Ukraine. Had 29% possession, created one big chance. The first goal was awesome. By I think it was Stanichu. I mean,
yeah.
How better to start your tournament like that? 3 goals, clean sheet against one of the teams that many believed was a dark horse. 1 more point in 2 matches should be enough, and they get to play a shaky Belgium team next, who's got a lot to prove. So. Yeah, I think Romania at this point is, it'd be a disaster if they don't get through now. just 1 point from 2 games. So, yeah, we've seen a lot of those smaller teams in terms of the rankings do well. They're one of them. But, yeah, let's move on to the headline match tomorrow. We'll quickly preview that and give us predictions. Netherlands versus France. It looks like Mbappe will probably play with the mask.
The worst mask of all time.
Yeah,
You don't like the
looks
mask?
Awful
No.
mask. It decreased his aura, his intimidation.
I like it.
I don't mind the colors.
I like the colors. I don't think
It
it
just
protects.
looks
His,
weird.
I
It
don't
looks
think it,
like
I don't think it protects his nose.
That's what I was gonna say. I
No,
don't think it does
no.
what it's supposed to do.
He looks like a mascot. He looks like he's trying to be. I
A
mean,
Ninja
He
Turtle.
should have DM'd
Yeah.
Osimhen.
A Ninja Turtle.
he should have just wore the black LeBron mask.
He should have got the Osimhen mask.
Yeah.
Postman mask. Yep. No.
Yeah, but I think I didn't get a chance to watch Netherlands in the first match. I don't know if you guys did, but it seemed like they were pretty underwhelming despite the good result. Kind of needed some good individual
Koeman
performances.
ball. It was vintage Koeman ball.
France weren't great either. I would say. I don't know if that's a fair
They had
assessment.
chances.
But this is how they play.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
They always
So-
they leave you wanting more. They're like
Yeah.
England, but you trust them more. You know, you're a little disappointed, but they're not going to
I
let
think
you
that's
down.
harsh.
No, I mean it in a nice
Yeah.
way though. They're like England, but like you know that you can trust.
He's
them.
saying they're England when they don't let you down.
Yeah, bingo.
Yeah.
They're
they have
England
the talent
without
of
the
England,
letdown.
but they don't let you down. That's
Do you want more? Yes, but you're gonna be happy in the end more often than not.
Does anyone think Netherlands gets a result from this match?
I could see a draw.
With Mbappe wounded, I think their chances to improve greatly. Because you know I don't know if he's ever played with a mask before, and I don't know how it's going to impact him, and if he's going to be nervous going up for headers.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, but I still think France are going to eke out like a 1-0, 2-1 win.
Oh man, I don't know because France did concede a few chances and Austria could have capitalized potentially on a few, but I'm gonna say 1-1 draw. But yeah, I don't know if I really believe that.
Saliba will be better because he knows that if he's not, then Deschamps is going to tell him to go back to London.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But
I'm gonna do it.
Oh,
I'm gonna be that guy.
You're
Say
crazy.
Sociedad.
2-1 Netherlands victory.
No.
I don't think it's that.
And you know
crazy. I
know
really
how they're
don't.
gonna win?
oh no.
87th minute. Bakers.
Now that's it. I want to hear Derek Ray say that name. It's Wout Weghorst.
Dude, talk about big goals and big games. I mean, he had a brace in the quarterfinals.
Big game player.
Yeah, he's the anti-Lukaku.
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty
I
much.
trust Weghorst more right now than Lukaku.
Kaka.
Um,
2-1, the Dutch. Virgil van Dijk is going to further break Mbappe's nose, unfortunately.
Oh, please.
Why the hell you gotta say that?
I
You
wouldn't
don't
put
have
it
to
past
say
him either.
Let's reverse jinx. Come on, Ricardo.
That's
I wouldn't be surprised if it actually happened, though.
No, I am going 2-1. And also, I mean, Dutch Memphis Depay is like prime Ronaldo. I mean, there's no denying that. So.
Oh, man.
We're gonna get the best Denzel Dumfries ball. He hasn't been that good since he played the U.S.
I think we do need to give a shout out, though, to N'Golo Kante.
Oh, dude.
How good was he, man? Jacob's almost in tears.
You don't understand. You know how they talk about Camavinga? You know what N'Golo Kante means to my club? He was a rock. And it was such a vintage N'Golo Kante performance. It was like he never went to Saudi. I wish he was still on my team.
You see Marcus Thuram after the match? He was like, "This guy doesn't age." He said it in French.
He doesn't. They all love him. He has that nice smile. He's so happy. He's like the most likable guy ever. You could never not like him.
Yeah.
He's awesome, and he was so good. And that block he made at the end of the game. Oh my god! I mean,
I could play the tournament so far. I mean, just the fact.
It's like everyone's like, "Wow, you're gonna play N'Golo Kante," and Deschamps like, "Yeah."
It's like Nagelsmann of Neuer.
And then I love that of course Adrian Rabiot has to start.
Of course.
The most Deschamps thing ever.
Yeah.
I want the Rabiot. He has Chukwuemeka and Camavinga on the bench.
He has two guys who literally just won the Champions League.
Yeah, well, remember he hates Saliba, the best center back in the Premier League too.
Yeah.
Well, he played him.
Yeah, but he doesn't like him.
It was just a rare start.
Nah, he shouldn't be dropped. But
and I like Mike how do you say his name? Mike
Magnon?
Yeah, I like him a lot.
I say Magnon.
I think he's
yeah.
I thought he was pretty solid.
Because this is the first turn without Hugo,
Maurice.
right?
Yeah.
Ugo.
Yeah, 'cause he was still there in 22.
Yeah.
No, now he's playing the Colorado Rapids.
He actually has a good chance of winning a trophy now.
Yeah, with Giroud.
At the club level.
He's gonna have Giroud soon.
Giroud, Bouanga. Yeah, we don't need to discuss them.
Too bad Chiellini retired.
Oh, he was still good too. That was the great. He was actually still pretty. He was probably the best MLS defender at age. What was he, 40? Like, oh my god. But
yeah, it should be a good match. I'll go with 2-2 for score prediction. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see how France looks tomorrow. And we'll see if Mbappe plays. I think it could really. I expect him to play, but I don't think it would be the worst decision in the world to rest him.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys see it, but
I think Deschamps wishes that they were playing Poland tomorrow, because then I think he would rest them if they were, but they're not. And I think that the cards that he's been dealt, and this is what he feels like he has to do, because they do need to win 2 games to get out. And I would not be the least bit surprised if you rested him in the 3rd game if they win, but we'll see what happens.
Sure. Yeah.
It's also the captain, so
yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. All right,
it wasn't. I think they mentioned on the broadcast too. It was the first time a captain was taken out.
Really?
I believe for France in a Euros in their history. Which is unreal stat.
Interesting.
But
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a crazy stat. But I think that's enough Euros. We have some topics to discuss in Copa America. Starting off with the first match, which took place tonight. Argentina with a victory against Canada. Jesse Marsh's first competitive match.
the most Jesse Marsh. Oh, he I'm sorry. I'm going to lay right away.
Sorry. What a fly.
Jesse Marsh's tactics are exactly. I can't count on the number of my fingers how many times.
Do you have the foot mob ratings up already?
Dude, I have them up. I'm always ready.
Us.
So I'm going to go through. Get ready for me to go through Canada. But, dude, I can't count with the number of fingers I have in my hand how many free opportunities Argentina had without any backline because of how high they were pressing. How, like, it was the most Jesse. It was like PTSD to Leeds. It was Leeds PTSD. And you don't do that against Argentina. You do not do that with a team of the attacking quality of Argentina who just won the World Cup.
You see, this is why he didn't have a job for months. I hope he gets it.
It actually made me glad the US didn't hire him.
Oh my god, he'd be even
it would
worse.
have been a disaster. It would have been a disaster. No, it totally. And Argentina should have won this match 6-0. It's insane.
I don't fully disagree.
Messy.
Rusty.
Was
That's
so
what his
rusty.
real name was today.
Oh my god! The number of times he chipped a shot when it hit was it Bombite
Bombito.
or Bombito's head? Or was it Cornelius when Messi chipped it and it bounced off?
To be fair to
heads?
Jesse Marsh, it is hard to
Oh
win
my
when your
God.
best player is the friggin' left back.
Oh,
I mean, it's
Yeah.
hard when that's your best player.
oh, yeah, but I mean, Jonathan David's a guy who scored 26 goals in France. It's like
That's
they
true.
got some guys.
Kyle Laren's their
Kyle
top goal
Laren hasn't
scorer.
been good in La Liga, but I mean, it's been a little rough.
MLS legend.
But he is.
I mean, he's been solid for Canada in moments.
Yes.
To be
and
fair, though, to Canada, they did have some chances. They just couldn't.
Yeah, no.
capitalize.
Jonathan Dave, or was it Eustachio? Missed the header. That was right
Yeah.
there. Jonathan David had a header that went wide. I mean, they had chances, but
They were
Argentina, they were lucky. This wasn't 5-6 now. Insane, and it was all Jesse Marsh's fault. Now I do have to say, Crepeau, the goalkeeper, I thought was
Awesome.
impressive. I thought he was great for Canada. He's so much better than Boyan or whoever the
Boyan?
the World Cup one.
I think it's Borjan. I don't. Maybe that's how you pronounce it.
Boyan, not Boyan Bogdanovic. No, Crepeau looked very impressive. Team MLS all day. And then I was talking about super subs. Argentina has the best super sub in international soccer. In Lautaro Martinez.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, come on. He comes right on and then scores too.
Wait, you want to talk about Lo Celso?
Oh, dude.
Another victim of Ange Ball.
Dude, and Christian Romero already picking fights. Argentina's so winning. Argentina is so winning this.
He'll get a red card the next game.
Oh, he's gonna get...
when he uses spikes up on someone's ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah, against Chile. Yeah, it's gonna be against Chile too. He's gonna have spikes up against Alexis Sanchez.
I really can imagine it already.
No, but it's fun. It was fun. It was a fun match.
Yeah.
It's a fun match.
Good way to start it. Argentina had 7 big chances missed.
Oh,
So that tells you
God.
everything you need to know about how wasteful they were.
Angel Di Maria was wasteful.
Di Maria got through on goal. What was it in the first 25
It was
minutes?
literally, yeah.
And fluffed it.
Crepeau, it was very impressive play by Crepeau, but
And you know what? Ricardo's Golden Boot winner is off to a good start. So there's
1
the
for
big
1,
positive.
baby. Let's go.
no,
Julian.
you really
Love
can't
to
go
see
wrong
it.
if you're Argentina. You cannot go wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah. Andrew, where's your optimism level at with Canada still getting out of the group?
Oh, I mean, it's Peru and Chile. I mean, Chile's not the same. I think Chile is being severely
That's
overrated
very
right
true.
now. They're I mean, they've been awful in World Cup qualifying. They're not the last few cycles. I mean, last 2 cycles not been fun for them. I think Canada actually has a chance to beat Chile. So with that logic, and I think I mean quality wise they're better than Peru. I can't believe this is the same team that drew France a week ago too. I mean, that was a France squad. Sure, Mbappe only played half the match and everything, or whatever. But I mean, Canada. What my point is, Canada can compete. I think they can get out of the group. So whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. All
right, let's.
They're going
finish
to be
things
held
off.
back though by Jesse.
This was. I mean, this. Welcome to Jesse Marsh soccer, everyone. This was the ultimate introduction. He was like, "Okay, we're at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Let's create some fun. Let's have some fun here.
Let's put it in overdrive."
And also, here's another. Kyle Laren is the most anti-Jesse Marsh player of all time. But Jesse Marsh is forced to start him because he is their leading goal scorer in Canada's history. But he's the exact opposite of how Jesse Marsh wants his strikers to play.
Why is that?
He wants a very high pressing, pacey striker. So Jonathan David fits the mold. The mold. But Kyle Larin, I mean, oh man, it's not going to work well. Kyle Larin is better situationally. He needs the perfect ball crossed to him. He needs a good through ball. Jonathan David can press up, and kind of I always go back to Brendan Aronson's first goal at Leeds 2 seasons ago now, when he stole. He was pressing so high he stole it from the goalkeeper and then tapped it in. I think it was one of Jesse's first games there, but that's how he wants his attacking players to play. Very aggressive, and talk about stubborn. He keeps it that way too. So I don't think it's going to bode well in the long term for Canada, but I can still see him getting out to the knockouts.
All right. We'll see how things go for them in Group A. Let's talk about the U.S. before we quickly go. Good performance against Brazil. I don't know if we all got a chance.
What a disgrace by Brazil. Should be ashamed, embarrassed, mortified that they couldn't beat us. I'm sorry.
Did they try fully? I feel like they
did not try. There was a
reputation, or I guess that's the.
There was a handshake before the game.
Well, there was a report put out that Brazil didn't even do any film on the U.S. Like the only two players
need film on us.
Well, the only 2 players they actually knew were Pulisic and Johnny Cardoso. That was the report that came out. Huh. Like they literally did not do any studying, any homework of anyone else, even though they.
That shows how awful we are, by the way. That's how little they think of us. They don't
it's a friendly, so like
it's a friendly. Who cares? Like they're studying. This is their studying. In ways, I actually kind of buy this method, especially if they end up facing us in a quarterfinal round. Like this was their practice. This was their studying of how the U.S. plays. Because honestly, that was probably the best the U.S. could play against the Brazil quality team. I mean, that's I wouldn't call it the best performance under Berhalter. Maybe
how about
technically
Berhalter 2.0?
Okay, yeah, Berhalter 2.0. I would still say the England performance was his best, just because it was a competitive tournament, and England. But I should have won that. But Brazil really weren't trying that much. I mean, Vinicius, he was just going through the motions. Rodrigo's goal was good, but Matt Turner completely flubbed that.
It's like Allison flubbed that Pulisic goal.
11 saves.
Well, Allison, no.
It should have been the freaking 0-0 game.
Oh, I don't know. Both. I mean, Vinicius's last chance. Pulisic had almost opened that. Allison made a wonderful save on that in the second half. The ball that McKinney gave him, and also the Aronson chance. There were a few chances here and there, but I'm not going to take much stock in that match. I'm interested to see. A lot of people will say, okay, Bolivia, the U.S. should throttle them, whatever.
I have zero confidence that they can demolish anyone.
I agree. That's just what I was about to say. I don't think this is when the U.S. becomes a disaster. They play down to their opponents. They lost to the Trinidad and Tobago squad just a few short months ago in Nations League in Trinidad and Tobago. Like, I have no faith against lesser opponents with this team. Now, strangely enough, I think the Uruguay game will be their best game.
In terms of performance?
In terms of performance, I think the Uruguay game will be their best. They play better playing up to competition. Sans Colombia. Take that out the window. I think they play better playing up.
And Netherlands at the
They
World
need
Cup?
to be the underdogs. They can't act like they're the favorites because otherwise they just go through the motions like it's a friendly. And I hate that so much about the U.S. And I think it's mentality. This team doesn't have the same grit that the late 2000s USMNT had.
That they did under Bruce Arena.
They need a dog like Clint Dempsey. They need that personality, and they're just I don't think they have that, unfortunately.
They got an author on the team.
They got an author, that's right. New York Times bestselling author Christian Pulisic.
That better not be a bestseller. Give me a break.
Jacob, did you know that he's doing a documentary?
Yes.
You're kidding.
Oh, you didn't hear about this? They announced it during the Champions League final.
Who's producing it? Paramount Plus?
Oh, you got it.
Jesus. They will do anything.
You should have seen Jamie Carragher's reaction.
Was he shocked?
He was going through the motions.
Just like Pulisic at Chelsea. After
No.
Lampard left. You know,
But
he
I have
always
no
comes back to Chelsea.
point is I have no faith in them playing down. They'll be playing down to their competition. And God knows how many people are going to be in the stands for that. I'm worried it's going to be no one.
It's weird because they had got minus Uruguay, Panama and Bolivia. They should beat. But that almost makes me nervous. Is that they should beat them?
Exactly. They're gonna. Well, it's
because
gonna be.
You know there's gonna be at least one letdown game in the group. You know it's coming.
They're literally just England. That's all they are. They're literally.
With severely less talent.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, come on.
Let's make that abundantly
but yeah, painfully obvious. But they literally play the same way. They play the same exact. That's why he's the British Berhalter. They will. The U.S. is going to score a goal in the first 15 minutes of this match. They're going to park the bus against Bolivia, and they're somehow going to concede in the 84th minute, and it's going to be a draw. And guess what? They're going to somehow, because they're Jekyll and Hyde, they're going to throttle Panama. You notice this in the U.S.? I think Tactical Manager brought it up first, the Jekyll and Hyde, which I thought was a perfect comparison. They're in all their windows under Berhalter. The first performance, the first game of the two is always poor. And then the second game is always like, a confidence booster. And you're like, oh, okay, I have some faith now. And then they give you that false sense of hope. And then they'll play in Uruguay and lose like 6-0. But, well, I'm sorry. I feel like Frank the Tank right now with the U.S. men's national team. But who am I going to go off on? Who's my Yu Darvish? Berhalter. Triple J.
It's going to be Darwin Nunez.
Who, my golden boot. But,
me too.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't have a lot of faith beyond the quarterfinals for this, or I guess beyond the group stage for this U.S. men's national team. Let's make that painfully clear.
Ricardo?
I mean, y'all have already highlighted it. I don't feel much different about it either. I don't think they're. Yeah, it's just like there could be a letdown, sure, but I mean, Panama is obviously going to be a difficult one. I mean, even if they're not as strong, obviously, talent-wise, I think that's still one that could be the ultimate letdown. But
I think
we're getting CONCACAF.
Yeah, I'm like potentially for that one, but I don't know. They're still good enough to come second, but then it's just a question of who they play next round, which. Again, Brazil, yeah, Colombia.
I guess which one's a better matchup?
But neither. I mean, honestly, I'd actually.
I don't think Brazil's gonna like take us that lightly the second time around.
No, that's what I was about to say. Like some pundits saying, like, "Oh, it's like, yeah, you had a better result against Brazil than you did against Colombia. Maybe you want Brazil." I'm like, no, you don't. You definitely don't want them. They're way more talented, and they're actually gonna, try this time around. It's not a friendly. This is the actual competition. So, I don't know. Either way you look at it, they should get out of the group. But after next round, yeah, I don't know. It's looking kind of bleak.
The only thing that can let Brazil down is their coaching. Brazil always has the worst coaches.
They missed Tite.
That's why they were trying hard for Carlo. I mean, if they gotten Carlo, I would have penciled them in as a favorite right away.
For the World Cup in 2026 already.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They gave him the trophy, but no,
imagine they get Pep after Man City.
No.
I'm still not that high on Brazil overall, but they would kill the U.S. Absolutely kill the U.S. in a second match if they met up. Oh my God! Don't get me started.
And it's almost perfect because they gave them that hope they could beat them.
Exactly. It's peak Berhalter. It's peak Berhalter. Oh my God! And I know I was joking about the Southgate War of 1812 thing. Did you hear about this Berhalter Civil War thing?
Oh no.
Did you hear about this?
Wait, when was this again?
It was during training, and he was teaching him about the Civil War.
I thought I read something about that.
Did he say the South won?
Oh, he was like, and he treats him. Berhalter treats them like babies. That's the worst part, and they love it.
I mean, Reina is a baby, but
I mean, hey, he's like, Joe, yeah, good Joe, yeah, that's what I want to hear. Did he he's like, Weston, what do you think we need to do to win? Weston's like, score goals. Yeah, yeah, that's right, Weston. Yeah. Like that's just the Berhalter vibe I have.
Was he David? He sounds like freaking Brendan Rodgers. I mean, he's all calm.
Yeah.
Mr. Nice Guy. Yeah.
He could be Mr. Rogers. Mr. Berhalter's neighborhood.
I don't want Mr. Rogers.
It's an awful day in the neighborhood. It's an awful day. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
They need Johnny Cardoso. My guy Johnny.
He was like one of the only half decent performances in the Colombia game.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, we'll see.
Did you see Colombia selling out East Hartford, by the way? They played I believe it was Bolivia actually. Yeah, in a friendly, and oh my God,
had a crazy tackle on. I think it was Diaz, right?
Yep, the game was on pay-per-view. It was on pay-per-view. That was the only way to watch it. No commentary.
What a joke!
That's awful.
Absolutely, it was like Colombian Independence Day in East Hartford, Connecticut. Insane. Same stadium we were at for USA Germany. But
venue.
All yellow.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Anyways, there's that.
Yeah. But I think that's all we got for today, right?
R.I.P. US.
Already.
Oh, we just wanna get a good build up to the World Cup.
Oh my God.
We just wanna show ourselves that we can compete. Not that we could win Copa America, or anything. Not that we have the 5th highest odds to win, and theoretically should have one of the better rosters.
You know the problem if let's say we magically win the Copa America, Berhalter's never going to be gone.
No.
I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, if we magically win that tournament, it's going to be like.
Here's the spin zone. Berhalter may never be gone, but that means BJ Callahan may never be gone. He's the one. You see, that's the other thing. He's doing all the talking. BJ, have you noticed that? BJ Callahan's the one talking tactics of players during matches.
It's like Mick with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Greg is just standing there with his stupid States shirt.
Oh my God.
Just picking his nose. while
Why
BJ
can't we
Callahan-
have better merch?
We still have to buy the States hoodie for Jacob.
You better not.
If they win Copa America, we buy it. He has to wear it.
Speaking of stuff I bought the Tony Cruz away kit for Germany.
Amazing. Love that.
And I may have bought a DH Gate Luis Diaz Columbia kit. But anyways, I think that's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're now at over an hour and 40 minutes. Thank you for watching. If you're still here, we got a lot more to talk about this summer. Euros, getting to the knockout stages, Copa America. Huh?
Transfers.
Transfers.
Oh, yeah, transfers. Those are starting to.
Jacob's off to a
Nah,
fun start.
don't start.
No.
He's
That's-
so ready
that's
for
so
John
right.
Duran. He's so ready.
Don't get him started.
Hey, look at the new shiny toy, Tosin Adarabioyo. Wow.
Never mind.
All right, and Christian.
That's a good teaser for another episode. But
Don't get me started on the schedule. Don't get me started on the schedule.
Stop.
2 years in a
Stop.
years in a row, they
Stop.
they screw
Stop.
over my club.
Stop.
Last year Liverpool, this year Man City to open the season. Are you kidding me?
God
it's
damn it,
time
you
to
got-
mute him.
You've got him
Right.
started. God damn it.
All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you for watching, and check us out next time.